guys, Bipolar Barbie here with our morning rant video. Now, this morning's rant is about, I guess, the mental health system. Again, because it's a serious issue that I need to rant about quite a bit. Now, I was at the doctor's yesterday, and I guess, he's great. Like, my GP is, really cool. I finally got a really good GP, and despite the fact that he normally would cost a lot of money, he bulk bills me because he says he just, he really believes in my recovery and wants to help me out, which is amazing. And I took Northie to that doctor's appointment because he's now my assistance dog, and he was really good. So I was happy with that. So basically, I was saying, he was talking about when's the last time he's seen my psychiatrist. Now, a psychiatrist is sort of like a specialist doctor, just like, a gynecologist or a cardiovascular sort of specialist. They're a specialist for mental health. So you kind of get to this area, you go to a GP when you first start to have mental health issues. And some people stay at that level as a GP. But basically there sort of becomes a point where a GP's like, whoa, you're way out of our area of expertise. You are way fucked up and you need to see a psychiatrist because we don't want to be legally responsible for you and your crazy shit. So they kind of just send you off to a psychiatrist at some point. Now, the issue with the mental health system in Australia is we have a free healthcare system, which is available to people, but normally you have shittier doctors. And when it comes to GPs, you can choose to go to a bulk billing GP, which is taken care of by Medicare. If you have an issue, if you want to have a better doctor, then, you pay for it. You pay the difference, which is fine. Trouble is with mental health is it's not necessarily so much of a choice because the private doctors are expensive as hell and the public doctors aren't available to everyone like it would be with, your GP. So I've always been stuck between this rock and a hard place with your private psychiatrist, which costs a lot of money and are really hard to get into. But even harder to get into is the public healthcare system. So basically a GP won't touch me anymore unless I'm under the supervision of a psychiatrist. And, my doctor was like, look, I'm fine with that at the moment, but I'd still like you to see someone at least once a year, just so that I can make sure that we're all on the same page and you're doing the right thing. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I haven't seen my psychiatrist since October, which isn't that long ago. But I refuse to see her every 2 months because I can't afford, I don't have $300 to give her for a 20-minute appointment. No, I don't even know who has that type of money. Some of them even charge $700. What the fuck? Mental illness affects your functioning capacity. So if you're not working and you don't have money, it's crazy that this is not available. So then everyone goes, oh, well, why don't you see a public psychiatrist? Okay, I've been searching for public psychiatrists for a really, really long time. Now, public psychiatrists work out of hospitals, the public hospitals. So you can't, basically I've been told numerous times that you cannot see a public psychiatrist unless you are in a public hospital psych ward or you're about to be admitted into a public hospital psych ward. So that is only available to people who are, what they declare, fucked up enough, which is basically means are you a public nuisance? And if you're a public nuisance, oh, well, then we'll take care of you. But if you're not causing anyone harm, then you don't qualify for public mental health care. And I just think you're punished for being, having enough self-awareness to not, hurt other people. It doesn't mean that you're not kind of, hurting yourself. You can be destroying your own life, but they don't care about that unless you're destroying the lives of other people. And I just think this is it's just fucked up. It's just really stupid. And I don't understand it. Even the DBT course, they offer a local free DBT course. And you'll get different answers about things. At first they'll just tell you, oh, we didn't have enough places for you. And then, they'll be we'll put you on the waiting list. And then they'll be oh, well, we'll give you a call when the next intake round comes around. And we might be able to get you in then. And then eventually when you keep persisting, because I think they just don't think that you will persist to keep asking for healthcare, that you will not be willing time and time again to keep asking. And once it's like up to like the 10th time you've been asking and they've like run out of excuses, at that point they simply just say to you, look, we only like offer this to people who really need it. Like, what is your definition of people who really need it? Because my doctors keep telling me that I really need it, and this is the only DBT course that is available in like a 50-kilometer like radius. And it's just like, well, how do you define someone who really needs it? And they're like, oh, it's someone who's like been in hospital in the past 12 months. It's like, well, I've been in hospital in the past 12 months. I've been in hospital like multiple times over the past so many years. And then they sort of say, oh no, what we mean is like the public hospital, like where you're like really bad. And like, what do you mean really bad? Like, I don't leave my house. Like, I am really bad. And they're like, yeah, but you're not like, you know, causing any trouble. I know. The system is screwed up. And it's not really about helping people. One side is about making money and the other side is about, you know, preventing the like effect that people may have on society. And, you know, it's just getting help is either judged on the amount of money you have or how much of a public nuisance you're being. It just doesn't seem right. Those people in the middle just... They say reach out and get help, but like help is honestly not as available as they make it out to being once you get to a certain level of mental issues. So if you like this morning rant, give me a thumbs up. Stay tuned for morning rants, which I will be doing every single day now. I'm also going to be starting a playlist and a series where it will be Myth Monday, where I'll be talking about myths every Monday, as well as my morning rants. And Fact Friday will be starting as well, where I'll go through facts on Fridays. Wisdom Wednesday will be me sharing some wisdom with you. I might even like start like a Trauma Tuesday, reflecting on the trauma in my life. Maybe even like a Stigma Saturday or something like that, and a Symptom Sunday. I don't know. I'm just really enjoying these creative titles, so I think I'm just gonna like start to do that. It might be delayed about a week or two while I finish off my clothing line, Attitude Apparel, which I'm freaking out is like 4 days away and I'm still working on it. But that's all right. I will, I will be excited to share that with you guys. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I will let you know what's going on with everything.